Today we will learn how to draw orbits and energy levels for various elements using periodic table. So before we start drawing orbits and energy levels for different elements, let's understand some of the basics of periodic table. So atom is made up of nucleus and electrons. Nucleus is made up of protons, which is positive, neutrons, which is neutral, and electrons, which are negatively charged. Also, the number of protons is always equal to number of electrons. Then let's consider orbits and energy levels. So this is a nucleus with protons and neutrons, and these dotted lines are the orbits around the nucleus. Right, first, second, and third orbit, and so on. We have names for these: K, L, M, N, O, P. K is the first orbit, L is second, and so on and so forth. Each orbit can further have multiple energy levels, S, P, D, and F. So let's consider another nucleus with first orbit, and let's say second orbit has two energy levels. So it's going to have two dotted lines, but it's still the same orbit. It's the second orbit. But this is energy level S, and this is energy level P. SPDF, S is the closest energy level to the nucleus, right? And then it goes on further away from the nucleus. Let's take an example. Consider a helium element, helium atom, with atomic number 2 and mass number 4. Now, 2 gives you the number of protons, and 4 on the other side, if you take 2 out of the 4, you get the number of neutrons, right? So based on this, you can draw the nucleus with positive 2 and then neutral 2. Now let's consider the orbits. This is orbit number 1. So let's draw one orbit. The second is S, which is the energy level, so it has just one energy level. And the number 2 tells you the number of electrons in that energy level of that orbit. So let's draw those 2 electrons, and that's it. Consider another example of neon with 10 and 20. Right, so 10 will give you the number of protons, and 20 minus 10 will give you the number of neutrons. Based on this, we can draw the nucleus with positive 10 and neutral 10. Now it has two orbits, 1 and 2. And then first orbit has one energy level, second has two energy levels, S and P. We did this, right? So let's draw a second orbit with two different energy levels. Now let's draw the electrons. The first orbit has 2. The second orbit, S energy level, has 2, and P has 6. Which means the second orbit together has 8 electrons, with 2 in the first energy level, S, and 6 in the second energy level, P. Let's consider third example, argon. So it's 18 and 40. So 40 minus 18, 22. You get 18 protons and 22 neutrons. Now it says neon. So let's just draw neon on what we did on the previous page as it is. And then let's add the further numbers up to the same. So it has a third orbit, which is additional. So you draw a third orbit at S and P, so it has two energy levels. The energy level S has 2 electrons, and the energy level P has 6. And that's it.